Okay, welcome to the Forbidden History Chronicles. Sorry about that, Lynn. We were talking about the graphics. And we're live. You're here with NinjaCat 111 and Dezert-Owl from the Forbidden History series and Forbidden History Live on YouTube. All links are in the description. Please check them out. We are now broadcasting live on 2 channels, and Desert's channel, the Forbidden History series, is the first one you need to go to catch up. Please watch from June 21st, 2018. I'd like to welcome everybody. G'day, Lynn. Hi, Shannon. Lynn, I went to try and figure out how to share this in the little message thingies and saw that you'd beat me to it like by about 6 seconds, so thank you. Yeah, that was amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys something before we get into what I hope to be an amazing program, because we've spruced it up a bit to help learn what we need to learn. So anyway, this while we've all had a week off, lots of things have been happening. I know you guys over in the US have been getting the weather warfare at the moment. Thank you, Lynn, for the sound check. And in the meantime, we are just about to get into winter here, and they are stepping it up with the Sky Show. I noticed something, but I will get to that in a minute. I'll just show you what's been going on, just really quickly. These are really quick clips. Okay, so that happened in the Northern Territory this week. I think it was on Monday. I'll just let it play through again. Just notice the blue, and people were saying it looked like purple rain coming out of the sky. So yeah, if you know me well enough, you know my opinion on the blue and the purple. And then this was also this week. This was seen from Melbourne, Victoria, about 2 hours south of me, all the way across the bottom of the country to South Australia. And a lot of the mainstream media has conflicting information about it. Yeah, it's all just, everything about it is wrong. Melbourne experts were saying that it was about the size of a walnut and disintegrated in the atmosphere before it hit the ground. South Australia said that it landed in the ocean 400 kilometres away from the shore, and it would have been the size of a car. If it landed on land, it could have caused injury or damage. So who knows what to believe, if anything, that they say at all. Yeah, so I just wanted to show that. And what I noticed was that during our summer here in Australia, we were getting the weather warfare, and you guys in the US and in a few other parts of the world were getting the Sky Show, and all those blue flashy sky with the transformers and the grid going down. Now we're having a lot of network failures with public transport, trains and planes, quite a few grid failures, and our Sky Show. We're having a Sky Show. So they've swapped with the seasons. I noticed that. Anyway, so on with the program. Just wanted to give you guys an update. Yeah, we'll go back to the tree, and I'd like to welcome Dezert-Owl to the program, and g'day to Shelley in the chat. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Anyway, hi Desert, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing okay, and congratulations on being one away from 200 subscribers.
Yeah, it goes up and down.
And also that wonderful clip you did, that 6-minute clip you did 12 hours ago was just a wonderful production, and I love that music. So you're getting talented. Can't get over it.
I'm getting there.
Talent around me.
I'm getting there. In my occasional spare couple of minutes that I get, I work hard. Yeah. I just want to say, Lynn, I saw that video as well. Yeah, they got little meteors in Sydney. Sunset tonight. One of the sky watchers caught 2 in the west. So, yeah. Sky show. Yeah, sorry, please continue. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, what do you think? I saw that clip where it said hit something about Halley's Comet, and I want to say hi to Shannon. Haven't seen her enough, and also Shelley and Lynn. Hello to and any of our new listeners out there as well. It said that it was at the tail end of Halley's Comet. I don't know if what that was about, because I don't think Halley's Comet was coming through.
Yeah.
Was it posing a question, or was it definitively stating that they were claiming it was
I think it's all wrong. I just see inconsistencies with everything. The newsreader showed his intelligence when he said that it came from the tail of a Halley's Comet. There's only one Halley's Comet.
Yeah.
And
well, yeah.
Yeah, and just the colours of it. The colours of it match everything that they've been telling us, like regarding the sky show, the smoke and mirrors, like with the blue and purple display of chemicals being dropped above an Aurora not that long ago. Yeah, just the colours are consistent. Yeah, they said that one came from Halley's Comet. And the other one, sorry, the other one was more of a orangey red with a green colour to it, and they said it wasn't from the tail of the comet. And those 2 in Sydney tonight, I mean, why are we getting so many? Japan announced last year that they can fake a meteor shower perfectly for a sporting event. So that's just my opinion. Everyone's welcome to, don't go by my opinion, do your own research, anybody that's listening. But I think it's all part of the plan. It's all fake. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the opinion's an open onion. It makes you want to cry. But I got the code on expert this time. When I was watching it, expert is just a cyber code for experp. Right? Expert.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
They had to give him another job. Now he's the expert. Just like when the other day I was watching a presentation, and it was the one with Dane Wigington, I think. He was being interviewed by somewhere down in Australia, actually.
Yeah, ABC. ABC.
Counter.
Yeah, I couldn't listen to all of it, but yeah, I saw the start.
The guy that was countering him was what they said he was. He was a former where they work in the towers. What do they call those? To bring the jets down. What do they call? They call them air traffic controller.
Air traffic control. The tower that I called. Yeah.
His career is air traffic controller. Now they got him on countering Dane Wigington, and now he's an expert on all aspects of geoengineering and flight condensations and jet engines. He goes from being a air traffic controller. Now he's an expert on all technology and geoengineering all at the same time. Isn't that interesting capture. Because obviously if you're just a traffic controller, you're not going to be expert in all these other areas. You would get experts in those areas that could talk about them. But he's obviously was a Freemason, secret handshake, and got his expert bank account going for him to tell lies like that and to try to discredit Dane Wigington, who's got all the facts, and to try.
Exactly.
It's just sickening.
Can I just add to that? ABC is 666 on the ABC radio dial here in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. That means they're the star. They claim to be the star.
Okay.
366 represent the star. That's why we see them all in Hollywood doing it. So, okay. Well, we got miles to go here, and I want to get my rhythm back. I've got a stack of books in front of me. Did you have any questions you wanted to go down first before we go there? I'm willing to share this.
Not really. I'm just seeing a lot of things with the words desert, like with the Aishavors. One thing I noticed the other day was I was thinking of garden and flower and like flora and fauna, and flora made me think of floor as in the ground, and fauna made me think of fornicate. So
Right. Well, those terms are all relevant. They're related, because they go back to prime roots, which the prime root then it goes in a dozen different directions in its meaning. It depends upon the usage of the term, but then later on they get locked into variable spellings that make them distinct, but yet they are still the same prime root. So that's why you hear that. You're just waking up to what I've been doing all these years.
Just seeing it. Would you like me to have a go at putting your dictionary up?
Well, sure, we can do that.
Yeah. That will get things happening. Just bear with me for a second.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. I just want to show you this one.
You got the dream tree there. The dream tree puts you under the deprogramming spell so that you can absorb all of this deep information, and then later on it will make sense to you, ladies and gentlemen, of course.
Okay. Down the road. I just want to show you this one, and then we'll have a go with the dictionary.
All right.
Okay, you'll see it in a minute.
If anybody wants to get on the phone, then you have to text me at 608-566-7295. Give me your phone number, and I can three-way you in. You can't call direct because I can't take the call because I'm on with Ninja from Australia on the phone. So if you text me 608-566-7295 that you want to join the call, then I can three-way you in. Okay, so I'd love to have any of our friends join us here on the call. And so I see the ocean waves, very nice. I would like to just look at those waves in one of the programs, just because the waves just are very beautiful. We don't get to
so it's the
waves
short.
Keep on going. Isn't it amazing that they never stop? Go ahead.
Sorry, it's the short one that kind of glitches when it loops. So I put the VA in front of it so that you wouldn't notice it as much. So learning a few.
The waves.
Learning a few little tricks along the way. Entirely by accident, I must say, which is the best way to learn. Okay, we'll go to the desktop and we'll see if we can do this desert, because this will be an amazing interactive kind of way to do it. Okay, just bear with me. Quite nervous right now. Okay, I won't be able to see the chat, guys, but Desert can. Okay. I'll just wait for the delay. Desert, can you let me know if it looks okay? If it's like
Well,
off.
I see your desktop now. Now I got the dictionary.
You got the dictionary? You want me to scroll to anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna blow it up so I can see it better. And yeah, that's the abbreviation definitions, abbreviations, and then so yeah, there's is there a way you can let it scroll at a very slow rate? Sometimes there's automation.
Possibly. It might be too fast. Hang on, just let me see.
Yeah, go to minimal speed and
Well,
we'll just let it scroll.
I don't know how to slow it down on here. Normally I can.
Obviously, anybody can then stop it when they do the replay, and then they can benefit from these.
Normally I can just let it sit there, and I'm in this free kind of word program that's not really Word, and I'm still figuring it out. So I can do the scrolling.
There,
that's okay.
Right there on the letter A, we see the A, the capital A at the. We're gone now.
I went back. It's okay. Yeah.
The graph that was below the owl. There you go. That was below the owl. So if you see the V is hiding within the A, that's where the V is hiding. Today we just have a cross member in our capital A, but here in the Roman A, it's a V, and that's because it represents the two pyramids coming together, which create the six-pointed star, and that's the what we call the Star of David. And so that's an interesting graphic. If you want to scroll down, go to let's check out Adam, because this is one that I've referenced a few times, but we've not brought up on the screen, I don't believe.
Adam's just here. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Adam was.
Do you want to start at the top of the page?
Well, I see. We just saw it.
Yeah, I know. I just went back to the top of the page. So I saw Abraham. So do you want to go to Adam?
Adam. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm looking for a graphic. The ancient Aramaic for Adam. And I don't know if maybe you don't have it on here. They can scroll down a little more. Is it not? There no Adam in the graphic of a graphic photo?
I'm going
a little down.
I'm going very slowly.
Oh, okay. There it is. All right, come on up a little more. A little more. Come on. Up a little more. All right, there you go, right there.
Yeah?
Adam and Eve on the screen, and then below that we got Adam. And so we can see in the first graphic that they not only flipped them over, but they reversed them from left to right, to right to left. And so that's how they deceive. The top row is what they were using that we continually see in the ancient script, but then when we flip it and then reverse it, say, oh, I can see the word Adam now, right? You can see clearly ADM, and the pyramid is the triangle is the letter D, and the M, it has like a handlebar coming down, and I don't know what that means.
I was just going to say, what is the handlebar? But yeah, anyway. Yeah.
You're about to say it?
I was about to say, what is a handlebar? Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what I've been trying to convey the code, that the code system has been used from the beginning. They don't want us to be enlightened, and so they're always controlling the ball, but the good news is that you can pull
I might just have to hang on. I'll leave it on the desktop, but I'm just going to flick over and see what the stream's doing. Okay, that's what's happened.
What's happening?
You'll see in a minute.
Oh.
It's gone red. It's got a red line.
Oh, the stream has gone red?
Yeah. So hopefully it'll just come come good.
Well, I'm not buffering. Let me see if I got sound. I'm going to put you on mute for a moment. I want to see if we got sound here.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's still streaming. Okay, so we're good on
Okay.
the stream. So if we're having an because of the low up feed, I think that's why the blurriness is there. So the best thing to do would be to jump from the dictionary, and I can just go into some reading.
Okay.
It's simple.
Okay.
I'll
put it back on the.
help out.
I'll put it back on the
Yeah.
tree.
All right. Let me turn on a light here. And later this evening we'll be on with Forbidden History Live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, Forbidden History Live as well tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And then we're gonna go throughout the week on Forbidden History Live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. during the week, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and then on Saturday near noon at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and then of course as we did last night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday night. So we're and thank you for the audio check, Shelley, as well. And so let me put my phone down then, and I will get on the. Isn't it interesting, the word phone? You know, and then we find the word phony, and we connect it with Phoenicians, right? The Phoenicians, and there they took that alphabet and they twisted it, right? So there's your word phony, where that thing must come from, right? The phony.
Yeah.
Just like the Venetian blind is a Phoenician blind, right? They put
desert.
blind,
Wow.
they're hiding behind the blinders, right?
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. Blinders is der blind, the blind. Yes. So
Yeah.
there's all the tricksters, you know. And then in Phoenicia, in Venice, which is synonymous with the term Venetian. Then they have in the city on with no streets, with all waterways, right? The city built on water.
Yeah.
And once a year they have a festival, and everybody's wearing a mask. I wonder what that symbolism is all about, right?
Gee,
Wearing a
I
mask.
wonder.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've got to be able to make these connections. They're telling us, but we don't see it, right? But somebody, the insiders all get it. You know, they're all chuckling. And,
Yeah. We don't see it. We don't see it until, like, I know this now. We don't see it until we go right back to the beginning, to the original Age of Ours, and then you can see everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing it.
We
You
are.
know, we're doing it. And so I wanted to, what was my other definition? I got two of them here. Well, actually, it's the third one. Is that the third one? Healing.
I just want to say thank you, Shelley, while you're looking. Yeah.
All right. No, here we go. I've got one, jewels. It's out of the Dictionary of All Scriptures and Myths, and it's jewels and gems. So I had that page tagged, so let's see what we got here. So jewels and gems, a symbol of virtue and high qualities, which are the precious things of life. And they will be mine, saith the Yahweh of the only true stars, in that Dayel, when I make up my jewels. I will spare them, as an Ashan spareth his own son that serves him. That's Malachi 3:17. Of course, I imported the original thought in there. I'll just read it the way it is here, literally, because I just do it out of habit now, but I realize that I might lose somebody. So let's read it one more time. And they will be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels. And I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Malachi 3:17. And the aspiring virtues will become in unison with the self, saith the Lord of the qualities. At the end of the cycle, when the higher qualities become completed and perfect in me, and the higher qualities. Okay, we just talked about that last night, the perfection that the result, the net result of putting on the perfection is an eternal light will be theirs, even as they have issued forth from me, right? Because we talked about that we were already a separate people in the very first instance of our manifestation of creation. We are already not of this world, but we had to identify with that and have sought for, and they found me again. So let me read that paragraph. And the aspiring virtues will become in unison with the self. That's what we have to do, is put on the virtues. Saith the Lord of the qualities. At the end, see, all the qualities come from him. There's no goodness in us, right? He is the one of the qualities. And so when we put on Yeshua, we're putting on the perfection of light, putting on the positive nature, putting on the positive action. All of those things come from, otherwise we would be doing the things contrary. So we put on, saith the Lord of the qualities, at the end of the cycle, when the higher qualities become completed and perfect in me, how in him through Yeshua, and eternal life will be theirs, even as they have issued forth from me, and have sought for and found me again. Continuing, a new quote, and Yahweh goes forth from himself in creation. That's an interesting statement. And Yahweh goes forth from himself in creation to return to himself in Ashan, in man. So he goes out as spirit, and he comes back as the perfected man, is what it implies. See, it's so matter of fact and blatant what is being conveyed here. I'm going to highlight that one because it's this element of perfection is found in the writings. But what's really interesting is people read it and they still don't get it.
Yeah.
There's people who are reading the scriptures all of their life, and they still deny the truth that it conveys. That like Yeshua, what did it say about that the servant of darkness, the servant will not abide in the house forever, but whosoever the seed of the Son, that's the correct terminology for the code, Son of God, whosoever the seed of the Son will set free, will be free indeed. So part of it is your effort, and then there's a part that he completes, he finishes it, being the author and the finisher. And whatever rough edge you may have left, he then puts the file to it, and knocks the burrs off, and and that's what's going on, because we need help. It's we can't do it, he does it, but and so he is the initiator of it. And then we say, yeah, that's what I want, and I'm going for it. And then we so we work together, and we're learning how to hear his voice by seeing the visions and the dreams and the messages in the shultres, the scriptures. So Yahweh goes forth from himself in creation to return to him, man. So he's the prime active agent through Yeshua, of course, as has been finally said in the satisfying explanation of the activity of the universe, is that it represents the effort of manifested life to get back to its own center. That's where the sun is, which is Yahweh, who is the great Elohim. The great Elohim is the sun. The earth is Elohim, but it's not the great Elohim. The great Elohim is the light, is the sun. The moon is Elohim, the great Elohim. You see, so all the stars, all the planets, and even we potentially become Elohim, meaning enlightened ones. It would be correctly Ul of Haim. Ul of Haim, that would be the original, the Ul for the visionary that can see, and therefore you then identify with the love, Ul love, the love, and then the Haim, the breath of the many. The breath is the H, and the aim is what it's pointing towards, the multiplication, the duplication, and it's aiming at the duplication of this great mystery of the lower garden. You see, and that awesome and
I thought you disappeared for a second there. I couldn't hear you. Yeah, sorry. Please continue.
Right. So that was R.J. Campbell, our quest for Yahweh. There was an ancient sermon of Borishiki. Hang on a minute. I'm going to have to take a sip on that one. that is the shaking of the August jewels, which is referred to in the QG key, never heard these before. We are there told that when the sun goddess went down, Ninigi, to rule the world, she gave him 10 auspicious treasures, namely one mirror of the offing, one mirror of the shore, one 8 hands breadth sword, one jewel of birth, one jewel of return from death, one perfect jewel, one road returning jewel, that is a jewel which has the property of making blind things return by the road which they came. One serpent scarf, a scarf which has power when waved to keep away serpents. Got to get me one of those.
Yeah, can I have one too?
Scarf.
Yeah, I'll put in my order.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll put our order in. And one scarf of various things, saying, in case of illness, shake these treasures and repeat to them the words 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you do so, the dead will certainly return to life. And so this is from W.G. Aston, Shinto. So the Shinto tradition, I'm not even sure where Shinto is centered at, but it sounds Oriental, so I think it's very possibly Japan.
Yeah.
But so it's just interesting to compare the mythologies, what we're doing here, friends, because, and there's Deplorable Duck. Good to have you, Duck, on the broadcast with us. And so we just want to compare our scriptures with what others, because the truths have been watered down through the generations, and of course we know through false traditions, but many of these ancient traditions are carrying the original truth, and it's just that through the age of wars, the words, things get muddied, so to speak, in the waters, but yet we can water away, and then we can see the parallels. Okay, so when the self Ninigi descended through Bodhe, the sun goddess, and Mary is also represents the sun goddess, the Virgin Light. So this is nothing strange here. See, there's a parallel there. When through the Bodhe, the flower, that's the flower of the sun, Bodhe, to be incarnated and rule the soul, he was possessed of the treasure of the higher planes, which should enable him to overcome the temptations and limitations of the lower life, and rise victorious in his return at the end. The Buddhic nature endows the incarnate Elohim with 10 precious attributes. 1, the casual body; 2, the astral mental body; 3, the sword of the spirit, the expression of truth or spiritual force which dispels ignorance; 4, faith in the divine; 5, love of the ideal; 6, aspiration towards the highest; 7, steadfastness to the good and true; 8, love of the inner wisdom as opposed to the outer desire and sensation; 9, industry to acquire knowledge; 10, intellectual faculties. See, all of these things are, even though we don't find them in our scriptures, certainly a relevant truth. Everything it just stated right there in the 10 aspects. In the case of the soul's sickness, all the attributes are to be brought into harmonious concert, reciting the numbers, so that they together shall effectually cure the soul. When the harmony is perfect, there's that word again. When the harmony is perfect, then the dead in Christ will rise to life eternal. So I don't even know who wrote this particular statement. You see, and they're referring to an Eastern ideal, but then they refer right back to the Western, Eastern actually. Yeshua is an Eastern story still. It's in the far west of the East, and what we call Asia Minor, the light of Asia, at the crossroads of the Great Silk Road into Africa and Metsar. So when the harmony is perfect, there's that dirty word, then the dead in Christ will rise to life eternal. Okay. And hey, Jed, good to have you on the broadcast. So that's comparative thought. We just, like what I have done is to, like an anthropologist. Is that right? Anthropologist. Is that right?
Anthropologist.
Sounds like an apologist.
That's
Sounds like somebody
some like a people archaeologist kind of
Yeah.
person.
Anthropology, right?
Yeah.
Anthropologist is one who studies other cultures
Yeah.
to find out how they think, how they live.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I made it my job to study world religions, and of course, even secret societies, and all of that. Then, lends to our perspective. What, how are we going to have a broad perspective if we have a narrow mind, right?
Yeah.
And we're just going to
Yeah.
read our, King James version and nothing else. You know what I mean?
Yep. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, we have to be a student of life and broaden our perspective, and then we can actually assess things that will,
You there? Desert?
go on.
You cut out
They did
again.
that trick again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were tricks. Okay.
Yeah.
The life going on, and so I'm going to go now into Lamsa, into his Old Testament light, and just read a little bit through there. I want to welcome any new listeners out there on the broadcast. And we did a profound presentation last night on Forbidden History Live. Okay, so if you go to Forbidden History Live, 3 words, then last night's program, about 12 hours ago, I think you'll have an interesting day. For
Desert, you disappeared again.
We disappeared.
Yeah. Do you want me to try calling you back? Because it's getting worse. Like you're going in and out, in and
All
out,
right.
in and out.
Yeah. Call me back. I'll stand by for the broadcast.
Okay. Apologies. Yeah, I'll call you back in a second.
The guys of Apollo.
Okay. We are live. Okay, I'm just going to try calling Desert back, see if we can get a better connection. And you are tuned into the Forbidden History Chronicles. And you're here with NinjaCat 111 and hopefully Dezert-Owl.
Hey, I'm back. Is that any better?
G'day. Yep, I can hear you. So, yep.
All right. So that was good. Yeah, we do that anytime we need to. Okay. So where am I? Okay. So I'm going through Lamsa's book. It's a big book. It's like 1,000 pages. So it's going to take a little time to get through all this. But we have some definitions in here. We'll do Old Testament light and New Testament light, because we're learning how when we read our scriptures, it's not literal. Okay, it's not. Sometimes it is, but a lot of it is idiomatic or metaphor, symbolic, and therefore we have to see and think deeply in this regard. And just take another sip before I go here. We're going to talk about dragons or sea monsters.
Dragons or sea monsters? Wow.
What's that?
Oh, just you were saying that while I'm typing. I was going to say thanks for dropping in, Duck. We haven't spoken in a while, and it was good to see you. So, yeah.
Okay. So we're dragging. Apparently, Duck has dropped off now, and
yeah. So dragons and sea monsters. Yeah. Okay.
So I hope he's doing all right. So dragons or sea monsters, and this is from Genesis 1:21. So we're still in the defining creation, and Yahweh, who is the great Elohim, created great whales and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, every winged fowl after his kind. And Yahweh, who is the great Elohim, saw that it was good, but here, of course, we know, as we defined it yesterday, that it is Yaltzar. It was Yaltzar, not was it, it is Yaltzar, meaning the product of a star, meaning perfect. It means there is nothing lacking. What you need, it will be provided, right? In abundance, beyond imagining resources. The product of a star, the star is the garden of the atoms, non-ending, flowing down, 24/7, never stops, a profound, what nature is this nature that is down here is the product of the sun, came out from the light. And so now short discussion by Lamsa. Tanina means dragon. Metaphorically, the adversary. But when used astronomically, it means the constellation Draco. There's dragon, the abbreviated word for dragon, Draco. And one of the major constellations, the Aramaic word is Leviathan, or sea monster, and metaphorically an adversary. A whale was used here by the King James translator simply because the whale was the only great sea monster which they were familiar with. Okay?
Okay.
So that gives us a little better insight into how that comes into our scriptures. So the next one is image. And this is from Genesis 1:26. And Genesis, remember, is Ganesha. Ganesha is the correct form. And it means gain is garden. Gain, you hear the word gain there. That's what we were just talking about in the altar, that there's plenty of resources to gain. When you want to harvest food or you want to harvest mineral wealth or whatever, the gain is great, and that's the garden, the gain. Then Aisha, there's your royal eye again, the garden of the royal eye. The royal eye, in the implication, is the sun, the light shining down. It's the Ganesha, and so they abbreviated it and called it Genesis, and so the Ganesha in India is represented by the elephant. Why? Because the elephant is the biggest and most powerful land creature versus the whale. So that also would be a Leviathan at the same time. Could have said elephant, in fact, and maybe probably should if we go back and look at it, So, so there you go. Okay, 126. So, and Yahweh, who is the great Elohim, let us breathe. Let us make Ashan, man, in our image, after our likeness. And so, as Philo talked about this, it wasn't talking about according to the flesh. It was talking about the mental capacity. That was what it meant when in the image of Yahweh. Okay? So we would not normally get that idea, but between Philo and we're going to find out what Lamsa says here as well. It is primarily due, to the hidden man, what we call the hidden man. The outer, though, is a cosmic image as well. We do represent the cosmos. Okay, our different features. The easiest one to relate to, of course, is the woman's breast, because they represent the volcanoes, and so we can see clearly that the milk of the earth is the fiery magma. That's the purified, right? The purified. Like I have a friend that moved to Hawaii, an old school buddy, and he says desert, all they got to do is drop a seed in the crack of the ground, and that thing will take off. That the ground is so fertile over there. He's on the big island, that just had all that lava flow, and he says you just throw a seed in the crack. You don't have to do nothing. And that thing will grow like crazy. So that's the virgin milk of the earth. You see. So we are cosmic images as well, and so continuing here. So let us and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Nasha, there's the word Nasha, and so what they did, see, like I showed you the word trick they did with Adam, by flipping it over and then reversing it from left to right to left, vice versa. Here, it's in Aramaic, they call man Nasha, but we know it's correctly Ashan. It's easy to see because the landmass is being referred to as Asha, and but Nasha, now, but if we say Nalshe, it does imply that which came down. Now, the royalty that came down, that's another aspect, so you can read it either way with the N at the front or N at the back. Asha is in a perfect anagram, read frontwards and backwards. N is the definitive for that which came down. Nasha, in the Aramaic, or Ashan, man, is derived from the Aramaic word nishma. Let me see how to pronounce this one. Nishmatha. Okay, so it would be Neshamatha, and correctly, because I'm correcting the Aramaic here, and it means breath. So therefore, it's like I was saying, the image is in the breath. by the way they talk, right? And not just by their actions, but the things they say can really define somebody. And that is the breath of life that was breathed into them. Only in his spirituality and his eternity is Aishon, man, the image. Okay, here it is. Only in his spirituality and his eternity is Aishon, or man, the image and the likeness of Yahweh. Okay, so there he's defining it, not according to the flesh, but according to his spirituality, his character, his quality. That's what defines him.
Wow.
Yeah, that is the breath of Yahweh, being aspherical or spiritual and eternal, making him spiritual and eternal. Yahweh, who is the great Elohim, does not create anything opposite or contrary to himself. That's right. It said that he made everything perfectly, right? Everything was Yalsar, the product of a star, and it was perfect. Not good, perfect. Not milk toast, perfect. Golden apples, so to speak. And so he did not create anything opposite or contrary of himself. Yahweh has no hands or feet or eyes, no flesh. Neither does he sleep or walk, as he has often been pictured. He is often reduced to earthly terms in order that Aishon may comprehend him better. For people always throughout time have created illustrations, but as we see in the obelisk, what we call the Egyptian obelisk, that straight line, the ancients said that we cannot make an image of the Great Spirit because he has no image, and therefore the only thing that can define him is a straight line, which of course represents flow of energy, and also the line that comes down, the straight line of light. Okay. This is the great Elohim, is spirit, and is all-knowing, all-hearing, all-seeing. And therefore, Aishon knows, hears, and sees because of the eternal spirit of Yahweh, which is in him. Physical Aishon knows nothing more than his own image and likeness, but the a-spiritual Aishon is constantly conscious of his spiritual likeness and his greatness. Image, in this instance, means likeness or resemblance. Yahweh who is the great Elohim, has been portrayed as having hands, eyes, ears, feet, and nose in order that Aishon may comprehend him in relation to himself. Yahweh's image is spiritual, that is characterized by intelligence and knowledge. Earthly Aishon is temporal and mortal. Mortal means death. But the A-Spirit, which is eternal, non-ending, what we are inside, goes with us. But the A-Spirit, the Spirit of Yahweh, which dwells in him, is immortal and real. Moreover, so what is outside is false then, right? The illusion. Moreover, Aishon is conscious of his Creator and knows sun and moon, light and darkness, or as it became reduced to good and evil. None of Yahweh's other creatures are endowed with this knowledge. That's what separates us. Nor are they governed by ethical law. Aishon, man, being in the image and the likeness of Yahweh, has power and dominion over all of Yahweh's creations. Okay, power and dominion, and we've seen that. There's nothing that we haven't domesticated or taken over, basically. Okay, so that's where we are in the Old Testament light, and now we're going to go into New Testament light. I think I want to just pace myself and do a quick break if we can, in at least 3 minutes, okay, and then we'll be right back with New Testament light, and I want to welcome everybody to the broadcast. Hey there, Audio Skywatcher, good to have you, and welcome to the broadcast. Yeah, we have new people stopping in. I don't remember if I've seen this one before, but Ninja, I'll pass it on to you, and we'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just scrolling. I'm looking for a short break. Okay, we will be right back as soon as I can find the break that I'm looking for. Where's it gone? I think I labelled it wrong. I can't find it. while I'm looking down the list, please be sure to subscribe to the Forbidden History series YouTube channel and check the bell. And also, sorry, I'm reading while I'm talking. Also, Forbidden History Live, and check the bell as well. Both links are in the description on every Chronicles live stream. So you can hear more from Dezert-Owl. Nobody else is talking about this. And Desert's been doing this for around 40 years. So he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. He is a word archaeologist. So yeah, please go back and check it out on his original channel. Go back to June 21st, 2018 to get the picture. I still can't find it. I found it. Okay. And we will be back after this short break. Okay. Please stay tuned. There is more to come. Okay, welcome back. Please stand by. I'll just be 1 second.
I'm on top of it.
Okay, welcome back. You're listening to the Forbidden History Chronicles with NinjaCat 111 and Dezert-Owl from the Forbidden History series, and also Forbidden History Live right here on YouTube. Welcome back, Desert.
Thank you.
No worries.
Much, Ninja, and who's worried? You worried?
Not
No.
right now, no.
No.
Actually, I was
we're
just
all
checking.
It's the funniest slogan you folks have down there, and yet I think any one of us, the word worry might not be the right one, but sometimes we get affected by anxiety or concern. We can call it concern, but certainly.
Yes, I had a lot of concern.
But these trials are what are supposed to bring us closer to the great Father of life, certainly.
Yeah,
and I love that pier.
That's
that
wonderful.
walking pier.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've stumbled on a gold mine with these graphics. I'll send some to our Yo engineer as well, so she can use them on the other stream. I want to thank Lynn for the sound check, and agree with what you just said, Desert. Yeah, we've all had a pretty rough week by the sounds of it, and yeah, I was letting myself, the more I wanted to break free from the downward spiral, the more I seemed to sort of go down into it, and it's a struggle, but yeah, I'm glad we're here. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. So in the New Testament Life by George Lamsa, and of course George Lamsa gave us what's called the Peshitta, a Bible in circa 1930s, and the Peshitta means the pure, the simple, and the clear interpretation and meaning. So I recommend anybody get a copy. You can go to artisanpublishers.com, artisanpublishers.com, and tell them Desert sent you. Okay, I've been getting their books for over 20 years now and sharing them with others. Okay, so evil. We're dealing now with the word evil out at Matthew 7:11 in the beginning of the book New Testament Life. And so Matthew 7:11 says, if you then being evil, of course now the word is a code, so evil could mean blindness or darkness. Those are primary. So if you then being blind, that's the prime meaning of it here, I think. If you then being blind know how to give perfect gifts unto your offspring, how much more then shall your Father, your great Father, who rules from his throne in the Son, give perfect things to those who ask him. Okay? So that's what we have to do. We have to continually ask and know our source. He is our source. And so what an opportunity, when we think of all the things we could have in our universe, right? The idea that we can actually have a connection with the one who made the universe. Wow, right? I mean, this is just logically about this. It's one of the thing. Then we see the people out there that want to deny, the existence of, and okay, they brought themselves here. Okay, they're going to keep themselves alive? No way. Alive? They can't. They're the arrogance of blindness. That it generates because they're in the sensual lower world and they love it. They love it, and there's your aspect of what demonic really means. It's a spirit that loves matter, not light but darkness, because matter is dense.
Sorry, I have a question.
And I just wanted to add that's why their brains are dense, because matter is dense.
Wow. My question. All these people in darkness involved in the deception, whether they know it or not. or whether they're aware or not, all going on about this, all going on about love and the love of this material world, the fake love movement. They're misusing the word love. Like, I see it more as lust, like a lust for this material world. Like they've twisted it. Is that the right way to put it? Do you know? Yeah.
Well, that's the serpent. The serpent is the twister.
Yeah.
The one that twists.
It helps with the confusion of this world. Yeah.
So, continuing.
Sorry.
Did you finish your thought?
No, please continue. My voice is going anyway. So yeah.
All right. The Aramaic term bisha, which would be, of course, this is. See, they just like every form of diction, they've adulterated the Aramaic, so I always have to correct it. So the Aramaic term bisha, which would be vesha, or probably vesha, has many meanings, including error and blindness, and bad and rotten and cruel and unreal and imperfect and immature. For example, evil counsel, evil figs, evil a tree, and then again misfortune or envy. So we see that the word vesha, vesha, is the corruption of vesha. It's vesha, and the e is the lower I. That's what the e represents. A small e, you can see that it's an I. You flip it upside down and it becomes an Egyptian I. And so there's a duality within the word, because it's a positive word when it's vesha, but when it becomes vesha, then it becomes of the lower. As you know, I talk about the letter E and the letter I as being the lower forms of corruption from the letter A and the O. A and the O are the primary. So vesha here has a negative connotation. So just wanted to clarify that. Changing the vowel changes the meaning of a word. And so bad habits of life are called blindnesses, because they are contrary to the perfection. Or here, bad habits are called corruption, because they are contrary to the perfect. Aramaic-speaking people know how the word vesha is used by its pretext. They comprehend that it has nothing to do with the blind one, or what is called a devil. It is man, of course. In this instance, the term vesha means the imperfect. Oh, there you go, talking about that perfection again. It's the opposite. Imperfect is the opposite. And Yeshua, the whole intention of creation was to create a perfect creation, and Yeshua is our forerunner. Well, we know he was perfect, and we're supposed to be in him. And he told us, even greater works you would do. Wow, greater works. So this term visha sounds like vicious now that I think about it.
Wow.
It seems like a form of the word vicious.
Wow.
Visha, yeah.
That all makes sense. Wow.
I got to write that down. Hang on. So put in parentheses, vicious, V-I-C-I-O-U-S. Okay. So in this instance, the term vesha means imperfect, immature. Yeshua did not use the word collectively in the sense that all who were listening to him were blind, but that they were imperfect. Moreover, when he spoke of a corrupt tree, it says evil tree, but we know it means corrupt, the fruit being corrupt, and it's supposed to be incorrupt, right? He did not mean that the tree had broken a law. Anything which deviates from the truth is classified as corrupt or unreal. Okay, so 10, we'll do one more, the golden rule. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that Ashan, men, should do for you, do you even so to them. For this is the law and the star navigators. And that's Matthew 7:12. Okay, so this important portion of Scripture is rightly called the golden rule. shelter, which is the law, and of the seed planting, teaching of the star navigators, prophets. When Aishan learn to practice this law, shelter, there will be no need for other laws or shelters or for quote-unquote churches, whatever that means, because that's a Kirky, that's an occultic term as well. But it means primary sense circle, but it's the question is it a perfect circle or an imperfect circle, broken circle, actually. For blindness will then cease when we follow the natural law. The natural law is really what we're talking about here, because it's not a legislated code, rule, or regulation. The law is written on our heart. We know right from wrong. We know, see, so we follow by the victory of light. That's the true nature, okay? Envy, covetousness, just like the animals know how to get their food. They know how to, build nests. They know how to, and so we also have the intuition and the ability to transcend, but we have to become focused. We have to become centered and perhaps read a good book, the good book. Envy, covetousness, murder, adultery, and the many other things which cause the of Aishan will come to an end when this law shelter is practiced. Were you wanting to jump in?
The phone just did that electrical glitchy thing. I don't know how you can't hear it at your end.
Well, we're still good?
We're still good. We're still good. It's just,
right.
Yeah.
Use a radio check out there. Let us know we're still good. If an individual would only place himself in the position of the Aishan, whom he oppresses, cheats, or mistreats, he would not wish to be so treated and would cease doing it to others. What an idea. Moreover, he would respect the right of other individuals just as he expects others to respect his right. This is because the law shelter of compensation is an immutable law shelter. Blind acts, not being of divine origin, rebound on the character who committed them. The I, or he who takes the sword, perishes by the sword. The I, he who oppresses, is oppressed. All the great imperial powers who violated the law shelter were measured with the same measure when they were conquered and oppressed by others. It was done to them as they had done unjustly to others. Luke 6:31, Isaiah 33:28, George Lamson. Okay, so there's a little bit of New Testament light. We'll just do, we do a couple of these every time we do a broadcast. We're working our way through the book. So, thank you, George. Phenomenal work you did. And so now we're going to get into diction, the Aryan origin of the alphabet, and we got some symbolism coming up we're going to do as well on the stone. And Jet said she heard that electrical sound as well, so I'm not hearing it. And so it's probably, those people.
They don't like us talking about love.
Well,
and
they're
light.
probably just fine tuning their electronics. They're listening in, so they want to know too, right?
Wow.
You want to know, right? So,
yeah, but they should already know.
Yeah.
Being that, let's not get into that.
Right.
It just reminded me of
It
just reminded me of a conversation I was having with Lynn the other day. We were talking about how I probably shouldn't bring this up either. But I will. We were talking about how a certain social media platform should know original thought because it is part of the deception. Anyway, just reminded me of that. Please continue. Yeah.
Right. Well, they know they've been lied to as well, so they want to get the scoop.
Yeah, like with autocorrect and all that sort of thing. Like they should know the Aishavors. Yeah.
Okay. So let's now take up the alphabet. We're continuing on the the Aryan origins of the alphabet, and we're going to go through the letters. We'll do one each broadcast, and they've got to follow, of course, on the nightly broadcast as well. I sometimes choose different books. I don't always do the same book on each identical broadcast, but if you don't want to miss anything, then you need to follow each broadcast. That's the only way you're guaranteed not to miss any of this. So, but the vowel letter, the A, we're dealing with the A, alpha, alba, and alba is white, and that's therefore the color of the star. This vowel letter is fully fledged modern capital form, as we see in what we call the Phoenician alphabet, but it predates the Phoenicians, is already found cut as an owner's mark repeatedly on pre-dynastic and early dynastic pottery in Dezert. So here in Egypt, what we call Egypt, they've identified that beyond the hieroglyphics, they also had the dual system, and they had this code, which is superior actually to hieroglyphic because it's simpler to work with. Obviously, she played 1, 3. Go
ahead. The word alphabet just stood out to me. Alphabet, with ending in bet. I don't know. It just alpha.
Yeah, of course, the B is a corruption, though, and so and maybe Aisha. The word may actually be Aisha because it means the royal eye. So it's not alpha; it's Aisha.
Okay.
Aishavat. There you go. You see, the vat is the serpent, and what is the serpent but the alphabet? That's a serpent.
Wow.
Twist it, right? Bend it, reshape it, right?
Yeah, I'm just writing that down. Wow. Thank you. Please continue.
Right. Okay. Okay, so, and its one-leg form seems to be the source of our small or minuscule A, which is found there from the first dynasty onwards. So the small A is more reflective of a bird, I think, and perhaps the owl, but also possibly an eagle.
Okay.
No telling. This letter A is now disclosed to have its parent in the Sumerian water sign, or A, or a long A, picturing two wavelets, as we do with like the Baba, right? You put the A's next to each other, it creates a natural V, because the V is the valley between the two A's.
Yeah.
These were represented in the earlier Sumerian writing by two wavy lines or ripples. See, and of course, the sun being symbolic of the letter A is in the cosmic sea, so it all fits. Later, for more rapid and easy writing, these wavy lines were written by two parallel strokes, sometimes with a short stroke on the middle of one of them, or having the top one angular to represent the curved line. When this angle in the consolidation of the sign pierces the top horizontal line, we get the A form, or A, and I'm sorry that we can't look at the symbols now because it would help to see it, but it looks like the equal sign, but the bottom equal sign, or the parallel bar at the bottom of the two, has a straight line that comes below it, creating sort of like a miniature letter T, just to clarify. We find all stages in the evolution of this letter from this pair of, don't forget you can pull up the A, Ninja, if you wanted to, on the dictionary. That might give somebody something.
Okay, we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, we find all.
It went blurry last time.
What?
Sorry, we'll see how we go. It went blurry last time, so I'll try it again.
That's right. Okay.
I'll try.
Well, we find all. It will be a good test, though, to see if that's what's causing it. That will also be a good test. Okay, we find all stages in the evolution of this letter from this pair of strokes, straight and angular, in the Semitic Phoenician and Indian Sulcan. See the columns of plate 1. In both of which the form of the sign is based on the later Sumerian style of turning the sign on its left side, as we saw like in that letter, the word for Adam, where it's turned over. It looks like a bull. They call it the bull, but it's really, that's the cover. There's the bull, right? The cover. They're full of bull. And the Torah, which gives the Semitic Phoenician letter form, okay, of this one-legged aspect. But it's really a pyramid. That's that's the bottom line. The A is a pyramid. That's a projection of light. And and one-legged A as looking like a triangular flag in the early Egyptian, as well as often in the Greek and Latin, or it looks like the letter P. That's backwards as well. Is merely the result of a more rapid writing of the letter without lifting the pen, and eventuated in the minuscule form of the A, in which the angular curve becomes a curve or a loop. And let me see how much more I got here. Okay, it's not that much. We'll just see where we go. The normal two-legged A is found in the Cadmean, Phoenician, and generally throughout most of the alphabets. In the Gothic runes, where this letter is significantly called Ass, A-S-S, or Asa, so there we find the word Asha. Okay, in the Gothic runes, there it is. You see, the letter A is called Asha. There it is. Okay, and also that means the Lord, but what does Lord mean? It means sunrise. That's what it means. It means the beginning of light. It all begins with the light. So Lord is cover, Middle English term, which literally means my sunrise, as we find, in the word Adonai, because Adonai was then translated into Lord. Lord goes into Adonai. Adonai means my sunrise. Dawnai, actually correctly, the A is silent, the first day. Dawnai, the dawn of the eye. The eye is the sun. Or also Ace, or the one, presumably for the commercial value of A for 1. Its common form consists of two angular wavelet lines, one below the other and connected by a perpendicular in F fashion. See played again. In Ogham, the Ogham, that's like using a lot of straight lines in another code. It is a single upright stroke, presumably from the numerical value with its baseline forms a cross. In Old Persian, where the letter is turned on its side, the three parallel wedges are preserved in the Hindi, and seemingly also in the Gothic black letter. The Gothic black letter A. The Indian Asokan is derived from the lateral form of the late Sumerian sign turned on its side, and it also exists in the reversed or retrograde form, so-called Karashisti script in those inscriptions of the Emperor Asoka, intended for Semitic-speaking subjects on the northwestern frontiers of his great Indian Empire, where the letters are written in retrograde, but in the same Aryan language, just as the Aryan Sumerians and Phoenicians wrote their Akkad inscriptions for Semitic subjects. Almost done here. The A in the Brito-Phoenician or of Partolian, like the shallow-tailed U. Oh, the U has a little tail coming off. Wonder what that's all about, huh? Resembles the corresponding sign in Semitic. I always look at it as a sting of death. Cup of death, the poison. That's why that little stinger's on there. Yeah, don't drink that cup. You want the V, not the U, because it's a corruption. Phoenician, okay, so in the Semitic, Phoenician derived obviously from the Sumerian inverted crescent sign for A, or the long A, C under U, and the A or A retains this small A, retains this form in the Syriac, Partolan, having been born, as he tells us, in Syria, Cilicia. The absence of this water pictogram for A in Egyptian hieroglyphics and in hieratic writing is obviously owing to water not having been ordinarily known by its Sumerian and Aryan name of A or A long to the natives of Meitzar. Well, then that must mean the great flood came in. You see, because why? Because how could it be they wouldn't know about the water, because the Mediterranean Sea wasn't there in the beginning. The Mediterranean Sea is the big flood. What a smoking gun right there when he said that. Wow. Let me highlight that.
Okay.
See, here first, ladies and gentlemen. The truth is out there, and then we stumble on it, and when we pick our face off the ground, what are we going to do with it? We're just going to pretend we didn't see it, or are we going to highlight it? Huh? So I highlight it.
I like the highlighting idea. Yes, I'll go with that.
Yeah. In fact, I got to put the note pre-plug. Go ahead.
I just want to show you something. Okay, we'll stop here for a second. You were talking about the sideways. You were talking about the sideways one, and I saw. You'll see me circling it with the mouse in a second. with the delay. I saw this when you were talking about the sideways one. Yeah, you'll see that in a second. And the double A, referring to the twins. But what I did notice, see, I looked through all of this before you guys translated ninja into Nunya, and before we spoke about my middle name. And look, it's all there. It's right there. Like there's Noon. That's my middle name without the A on the end there. My middle name is Anne. Yeah. Wow. I'm just seeing the big picture. Does it? It's amazing.
Yeah. Now my screen is blurry. Is you
because I'm on the desktop in the live stream.
Oh.
I don't think it's picking this up as well as it does with the all the other.
We need $1 million. Then is what we need.
Yeah, that'd be handy.
Okay.
So I might just go back to the graphics because it.
All right.
This
Thank
isn't.
You.
Yeah.
Well,
this is.
But they can clearly see the ancient with the bar coming up and down where it's tipped over. The A.
Yeah.
Tipped over.
Yeah.
That was a good example for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That's called the Semitic Phoenician. That's the Semitic Phoenician form. Okay, to clarify, that's what I just read on the other page here.
Yeah.
So almost done.
Thank
Okay,
you.
instead of the water, yes, thank you. Instead of the water sign for A, the Sumerio-Phoenician rulers who introduced the writing there employed for the vowel sign a hand sign which has in Sumerian also that same phonetic value, the meaning as in the Mitzrayim Egyptian, and for the short vowel, it is expressed that the Egyptian uses the eagle sign. Okay, there you go. Eagle for letter A, the bird that flies higher, sees farther than any other bird. There's the symbol for the eagle, not the eagle. It's the eagle, which is called Ak in Sumerian and Aha, or mist, as in mystery, in Egyptian. For the so-called alphabetic system in Egyptian consists of a great variety of syllabic words for the two or more consonants for the sake of the initial portion of the syllabic name or sound. Okay, so that's the Aryan origin of the alphabet. When we pick it up next, perhaps tonight, we'll be on letter B. Most of them are not as long, but naturally the introductory letter would be a little longer. And so we're now going to jump over to the Sumero-Aryan dictionary, and because we're getting a little bit of the history as well, we leave no stone unturned in the quest for what they didn't want us to know, ladies and gentlemen, forbidden history. And these books I highly recommend. We're on the tip of the needle here with the correct books, okay? Because I've had to go through a lot of dictionaries. And these just came up over the last few months here, okay? And they're the best, okay? Literally, so get them. That's why we didn't hear about them, because they're wanting us to go with the narrative we find in the university. Yeah, there were no giants, and man was just only got here 5,000 years ago, and there's nothing to see under there. Don't look under that rock, okay? And we know better. We are going to tell you the score, okay? You're stupid. Okay, we can tell. And they're just kissing the Pope's big toe, of course, and they get their tenor, their tenure. The tenure is the tenor that keeps them shut because they'll lose their tenor, which is their paycheck. They get to stay there and grow old and have their 10 years so they don't hear anybody else because it goes back to the ancient or, no doubt, or else, you know what I mean? Yeah, you do what we tell you to do, or else, or you'll be under the or, you know what we mean? Yes, bugs. Yes, bugs. Okay, so here we are again. Sumerian.
Also, sorry, I couldn't help but think the most commonly used dictionary happens to be the Oxford Dictionary, which kind of parallels with the King James version of the Bible, the two most commonly used
Right. Well, the Oxford is the biggest dictionary in the world. It's got
yeah,
basically every word that was ever used in the English
yeah.
diction,
It just makes
and
sense.
so that
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So they're hiding the words that we don't find in any other dictionary. Generally, you find it there.
yeah,
Like the word Fae, F-A-Y, okay, which is their goddess, another word for their goddess. Okay, and so in the Sumerian dictionary, Sumer-Aryan dictionary, Sumerian, an arbitrary ethnic term of Assyriologists, the name Sumerian, which is now applied to by Assyriologists to this earliest civilized non-Semitic people of Mesopotamia, also known as Padam Zabran, Sedam Sabran, has never been found to have been used by these people themselves. So they never used the term Sumerian, which is now applied by the Assyriologists to this earliest civilized non-Semitic people of Mesopotamia. It's obviously a mess, and has never been found to have been used by these peoples themselves. Okay, so there you go. Using a false term, acknowledged right here, a false term. It is coined by Assyriologists by the name Sumer. Here we get the word summer because it's in that part of the world that's like a perpetual summer,
wow,
which was applied to the lower Mesopotamia by the latter Babylonians and Assyrians. Sounds like the word soma as well, which was an intoxicating drink, the soma. Okay, so this was applied to the lower Mesopotamia, which is therefore closer to the Persian Gulf, which we right near where we call it Kuwait today, by the later Babylonians and Assyrians. The arbitrariness of this application is evidenced by the fact that this label was formerly attached by Assyriologists to the supposedly diametrically different race now called by them Akkad. Also, I think would be Akkadian, is a derivative, and whom they also arbitrarily term Western Semites. Semite being a false term because it's all about Aryan, but they couldn't let us use the word Aryan, so they use a code Semite. Oh, that's anti-Semitic, man. You hate us white people, don't you? Wait a minute, I'm white. Don't you get it? I'm white too. Okay, how can I hate you? But it's the most clever trick that the Khazarian Jewish banking ever picked up. But whom they previously called Sumers or Sumerians. But laterally, they arbitrarily reversed the labels with the result of adding still more to the confusion as Akkad. They love confusion, that's why. Akkad is a synonym for the Sumerian Ari. There you go, Ari. It is a replacement for the word Ari, or, right here in parentheses, Aryan. Aryan. A title also of the Amorites, the Amorites. They were amoral, obviously, and who are adamantly non-Semites. These Akkads from Sargon downwards, I have shown, are identical with leading early Aryan kings in the official kings list recorded in the Indian epics. There you go, Aryan, India. Okay, what I've been saying all along, that the Egypt Brahmins, Zavarim, were Aryans, the fallen watchers. Ninja, you were trying to say?
yeah. I saw proof of that somewhere on YouTube this week. I can find it for you later if you want. I saw Aisha in my recommended list on my homepage, and I clicked on it, and it was Indian song or group or something, and the title started with Aisha. So there you go,
Really?
Indian music.
Yeah, see, because that would be the prime controllers of the world, of the Aryan race, the Watchers, the Fallen Watchers. That's where they ran shot from. So obviously, that's where, when we go back to what we call Pseudo-Sanskrit, we find many of the most correct forms, or original forms.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. As this name Sumerian or Sumer, however, has obtained currency for several decades as the title for the early non-Semitic civilized people in Mesopotamia, now found to be Aryans, and for their diction, we are now forced to continue its use as such, despite its arbitrariness and misleading effect. See, so we got stuck with a false term, just like I say, all the words have been switched out, and when we read them, we got to change them, right, when we're reading them. Hence, the present comparative dictionary is styled Sumer Aryan. So that's why he did it. He hyphenated it with Aryan. Okay, and so there we go. We'll stop it right there. The next one, when we pick it up, either tonight or when we get back to it, how the Sumerians and their monuments were discovered and their written language deciphered. So the great mystery unfolds right here, ladies and gentlemen. And we're probably going to just do one more segment, and it's going to be on the that dirty, muddy book, the Talmud. Okay, so get ready. I'm starting to lose my voice. Maybe we can take just a 3-minute break, Ninja, and then we'll be back at it. And we'll throw the mud around a little bit. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'd like to play the new redo, but that's a long one. I suppose I can play it until you're ready to come back.
Yeah. Well, how many minutes is it?
It goes for 7 minutes.
Has it got graphics on it?
It does. It's I redid it
all right.
yeah.
All right. So is this something new?
It's the one that you saw. It's the one I put up as an advertisement for all 3 channels. The one with the new music.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and play that. That's fantastic. That was a great job. I watched it earlier. Let's see it again. Yeah,
Okay.
That'd be a good break, and then we'll cap it off. Thank you.
No worries. I just have to find it.
Not worried, okay? I keep telling you, I'm not worried.
I don't think
All
I
right.
put it. Wow, I didn't put it in my list. Oh yeah.
Oh, no. So
I'll have to
you
go.
fill it all up? No?
I'll just have to go to the desktop and play it from the
All right.
file. It's just a
All
little
right.
bit of searching. That's all.
Bye.
Okay.
I'm muting out.
Okay. Okay, guys, just bear with me. I just have to find the new the new version that I forgot to add to the OBS. I do have it on file, so we're gonna have a look through Ninja's filing system. Wish me luck. Alright, actually I might just go. Okay, I can do it quicker this way.
No luck, Ninja. Either you do it or you don't, okay? Luck has nothing to do with it. It's either do or
Okay.
don't do, remember?
Alright, I'm sorry. Minor
kidding.
slip up. Okay.
Yoda said there is no try. It's either do or don't do. Okay. There, she's getting close. I can tell.
I'm trying to find the quickest,
Right.
quickest way to find it rather than going to my files. Yeah. I'll just play it from here. I should have gone to the other page, but anyway. I think I had it playing not long ago. Here we go. You get to look at Ninja's history. There it is.
Boy, she's doing it. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go there. Getting cross-eyed.
I liked it as well. See, last time I watched it. There we go. Okay, we'll be right back.
Dane Wigington.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I just have to mute the microphone. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
So it was a great. It is a great production, and they can go watch it direct right there on your channel. It'll be right after this one. Now this will be the first up. Okay, so that was okay because my throat is very hoarse right now, and I think it would be good for me to stop versus to continue.
Okay.
And I'll be back on this evening on Forbidden History Live. Let me. Wait a minute, I gotta turn off this.
Yeah, you gotta turn you off. I just turned the microphone on.
Yeah.
I just want to welcome everybody back and apologise for the sound issue. You saw me fix it as soon as I saw Lynn's comment. Thank you, Lynn.
But she did it. That's the bottom line. She did do it. So
the problem was rectified, but we did lose quite a few listeners. So yeah. Right. So anyway, it's good to be back.
So,
yeah.
And so we're when are we on again? We're on
Wednesday on the Chronicles, 10 a.m. your time, Eastern Standard Time, US, on Wednesday.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be back on with Ninja on Wednesday, but tonight we'll be on Forbidden History Live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So hopefully you'll be able to join us, Ninja, and some of the friends here as well. So. Okay, so I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and I just want to say, don't forget, if you want to know the future, I'm Dezert-Owl telling you, just look for the Forbidden History because it's all right here, coming your way. Ninja, thank you, and we'll talk later on, dear one. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Peace and light.
Peace and light.
See ya. Okay, guys, we are ending it here. It's been fantastic. It's so good to be back. Especially with the new look, it makes a difference. Like, even I can feel the difference with the new graphics and stuff. So yeah, we're getting it. We're getting the truth out there. Just want to say love you all. Thank you for joining. And please hit the like button on the music break. I uploaded it as an advertisement on my channel, so you can watch it anytime you like. And go back and listen to the Forbidden History series and Forbidden History Live. Please subscribe and check the bells on both channels. Desert doesn't have access to his original channel at the moment, but that could change. So yeah, subscribe and check the bells. And please do that on this channel as well. All links are in the description, all information that you need to get your PDFs so you can see and read it for yourself. It's all there in the description on every one of these live streams. Okay, so you heard it here first on the Forbidden History Chronicles with NinjaCat 111 and Dezert-Owl. Alright, love you guys. Peace and light. And see yous.